So I'm going to walk through why the United States is facing such a serious affordability problem. The key issue is the growing gap between what people earn and what they have to pay for housing. This case study looks at what's driving the gap and how it affects families. Affordability shows up in people's lives. Grocery costs more, gas costs more, but the biggest pressure comes from housing. Rent and home prices have grown so much faster than wages, and that makes it harder for families to stay stable. The main question is, how can policy close the gap between what people earn and what housing costs? On the wage side, most workers have seen only small raises over the last 20 years. Even while productivity has increased on the housing side, we haven't built enough homes, especially since the Great Recession. Zoning rules makes it very hard to build denser housing in communities where people want to live, and land prices are high in many regions. That combination creates tight markets where prices rise faster than people can keep up with. This shortage hits families directly. More of their income goes towards rent or a mortgage, which means they have less for savings and emergencies. Many families rely on credit cards or loans just to keep up with everyday costs, which creates more risks. Even when the economy looks stronger on paper, people still feel stretched because housing eats up so much of their pay. That research lines up around three main themes. First, wage stagnation, especially for middle and lower income workers. Second, the lack of housing supply because of zoning restrictions and construction slowdowns. And third, growing debt pressures. When you put these together, you see there isn't a temporary problem. It's a structural issue that's been building for years. The main takeaway is that wages have not kept up with the housing costs, and families are feeling the pressure. This problem won't be solved by one policy on its own. The most realistic path forward is combining wage improvements with expanded housing supply. Federal, state, and local leaders all play a role, and how they coordinate will shape whether the U.S. become more affordable and stable for working families.